Thank you. Let's do it.
First of all, you know what? Again, I'm going to congratulate you for trying this. It's all great. You grow under these pressures. That's the only time we grow. It's the only time we grow. It's no other way. You know what? I thought we'd do something different today. And we're going to talk, we're going to do some business stuff, but I'm sitting in my car lounge. And no, the cars are not really here, but we'll show you guys some really cool stuff. Kind of a mess. Bad day to do this. But so those signs you see up there, those are actually the Hall of Fame. This is all our history. Guys, see that? There's all our history. So I like to come home at nighttime, and I like to, doesn't matter, it could be like 3 o'clock in the morning. I like to come here, do a cigar, and have a coffee, watch something that I'm interested in on the big TV, and dim all these lights, put my LEDs on. I don't like white lights. I kind of like dim color lights. Maybe that's why all my homes are full of LED. And yeah, that's my me time. You know, this is one thing I always wanted. And I have worked towards what I want. And I want to talk a lot about that tonight because, you know, I have students all over the world. I don't know if you guys, 2 weeks ago, was it? You know, no, last week we had a forensic call, not opulence. And I've been doing forensic for 23 years. We have 84 companies who are on forensicnetworker.com or .org. From other companies, we had over 2,000 lines. I think it was hovering between 1,997 to 2,051 lines. Of course, many of them were groups. We've had, when I've done forensic seminars, we've had over 5,000 lines. I hope that one day opulence folks come on because, and I'm not even with those companies, but they've been following me for years. These are leaders from other companies. And this is just something that they live by. Forensic is a culture. It's in many companies. It's a culture. I mean, in some countries, they said that, I mean, the whole country's MLM regulations. There's not a meeting that goes by that forensic is not mentioned. It's been a long time, 23 years. People know it's real. It's the best version of MLM. And it's the truth about MLM, hence it's named the Forensic Networker. Usually the seminars, what I used to do is like 2-3 days long and 12 hours a day. It's actually a 7-day seminar. When I do webinars, it's 6-7 hours. It's not the 1 hour that we do. On Tuesdays here, tonight, we don't really get into forensic too much because the heart of forensic, because there's nothing that's 1 hour. So I try to share with you guys some quick tips here and there that you could use. So I'm rewriting the forensic because I've had so much. We've done 7 books already, 7 versions. Version 8, I decided to, but the books were only available at the forensic seminar. It was only designed for people who attend. I never want to make money with it. I mass produce it. People have been asking forever. I just don't do it. But the pressure is too much. Everyone's asking, where's this forensics book? Can you please write it? If you remember Mark Yarnell, God bless him, when he was him and I supposed to do a seminar for opulence in 2010, 11. And one of the criteria for him to accept my offer, because he was one of my mentors, it was that because he loved Forensic Networker. He says, as long as you let me publish it, and I'll come and join you at the opulence conference. We agreed on it. We signed the contract. And the day he went to the airport to come to our conference the day before, he got really massively sick. The doctor said if he goes to get on the plane, he'll die. So he didn't come. And some of you guys were here to remember this. So the day before this massive international convention, we've announced, day 1 is Mark Yarnell, day 2 is Forensic Networker, all of this. And so I got this panic, because I was so excited to see him myself. And so I called all my leaders, and Renee was there, and Reza, and I said, okay, guys, we have a problem. And said, what? And I was so worried because the day before the convention, right? I said, well, Mark just called and he says he's sick. He can't get on the plane. If he gets on the plane, he'll die. And so I don't know what to do. And last minute, we get another speaker. It was actually a great feeling. And all my leaders in the room, they're making a lot of money. And I said, sir, why do you think you need another speaker? Why don't we just extend your forensic from 1 day to 2 days, just to your forensic? And I thought, I never thought about it until then. I've only done a 1 day forensic. I said, that's what we want. We want the forensic networkers. So I expanded for 2 days, then became 2 days, and if after that. So yeah, it's the truth about MLM. It's how I made all my millions. We created lots of millionaires through that. 33 years. I think we contributed a lot to the industry. Many companies have adopted. It's kind of interesting when I go on Google and I put the 8 categories of involvement, forensic networker, and 35 languages show up, and none of them with our company. So everyone's taking him, and I mean, it's okay. It's my gift to the industry. It's a forensic networker. No one's trying to steal the content, but that's the type of thing it is. So tonight, I thought I'd do something a little bit different because I run into people, and it's the same always. I mean, it's nothing changing in 35 years. But I run into people that say, well, I don't know what to do. I'm discouraged, or I'm confused, and all of this. That type of attitude or that type of this was more acceptable before COVID than it is today. That's what I'm trying to say. Because if you paid attention to what's happened last 2 years, it's like, and how the governments are reacting, we better get our act together. We really got to get our act together. We don't have a lot of time. We just don't have, the regulations are changing, taxes are going higher and higher. Inflation is out. So people get weaker by the day, right? Because when inflation goes up, people get weaker. And the people get weaker, who gets stronger is the government, because the more needier people become, the stronger the government becomes. So I just wanted to, so when I hear people, give me a second, I'm trying to fix this here. When I hear people say the same things I used to hear, right? And yet they don't seem to be in a rush to do something about it. And it just puzzles me. It just puzzles me. We don't have as much liberty as before COVID. We don't have as much opportunities. Companies have closed down, opportunities have lost, inflation is high. And things that they're calling for doomsday next year. With all these wars going on, all the stuff that's happening, food shortage that they're calling for next year now, the tax hike, interest is going up already in Canada. I'm sure all over the world, a lot of people defaulting on their mortgages. So there's going to be some type of real estate crisis. So all of this stuff is going on, and I'm looking around and I see fires everywhere. But the average person, they don't have a clue. And we all live in the same world. Like we all live in the same city, same country, same world, and they don't seem to know. One thing about Southeast Asia, I have to give them a lot of credit, because they've always been really hard workers. I mean, they're out there. They want to get things done, right? COVID, pre-COVID, doesn't matter. They're just very active, right? Seems that that's still there. But I find a lot of the Western countries, people have way too much hope and trust into the government that somehow the government will come back with something as if they've ever done it in the past, which they never did, right? All the government does make matters worse. So I look at, what does it take okay, what's the difference between an individual like me, that I'm always looking and I see the fires everywhere, and maybe most of the masses where they think, I guess everything is fine, or life has dealt me this hand, or the government will do something. I question, like, why is it that it's easier, right, to suffer every day for the rest of your life, because everyone's getting weaker and all the stuff that's happening. Why is it easier to suffer for the rest of your life, which are day-to-day challenges, than to actually get up and face your fear of change, face the fear of making those phone calls, face the fear of getting into a business, make a fear of changing your habits? Why is it easier to struggle every day, and it gets worse every year, and it's going to get really, really bad moving forward? Why is it easier to live like that for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, then say today, you know what, I'm gonna pick up my MO box, I'm gonna go to my prosperity book, I'm gonna read everything, and I'm gonna commit to it. And every single day I'm gonna commit an hour to this, to my business. Next, you know, I'm just gonna commit 1 hour a day. I'm just gonna commit to something other than the status quo. That's confusing to me. So if we can come up with all these cliche answers, but it really doesn't mean, none of them make any sense. We're going through a life we don't want for the rest of our life, and that's easier than facing some of our fears, small fears. They're not big fears, they're small fears. Picking up the phone, calling somebody, make an appointment, throw some text messages around, get dressed up, get a place in your house somewhere with a table, with a phone, an MO box, call, do meetings, make beautiful coffee, be nice to people, educate yourself, elevate yourself. Those are small little fears, right? We can face those, and that could completely change our life. Completely change our life. Jim Rohn says you want to earn more, you got to become more. You want to earn more, you got to become more. Now, folks, I know we're a global business. Cultures are different. Sometimes people think if I'm passionate, that somehow I'm yelling at them. That's just me. I'm passionate. But then the top performers like Tony Robbins, all these guys, they're like that because our energy comes from here. It comes from here. It's from the gut. It's from here, and we understand something. The successful people understand something. As human beings, we don't communicate through words. We communicate through feelings and tonality and physiologies, energy exchange back and forth. So if I'm yelling, it's not yelling at you. It's energy coming out. I want you. Well, first of all, I feel it, and I want to pass it on to you. So, rewriting my forensic networker book, and I'm implementing a lot of things that I never thought was needed before, because I clearly see that it's not the knowledge anymore about how to do MLM. It's not complicated, and there's the information out there. It's that people are not paying attention or refuse to pay attention. So I started writing some mantras, and that's what I do now. When somebody says something to me, or whether it's an objection or whether it's a comment or something, I write it down now because I figure, okay, I need to do a mantra about it. So I'm just going to go through some of those things I wrote that's going to end up in a new book. So tonight we're going to talk about that. You're going to find it useful. So somebody says to me, if I want to make, I don't know, $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month. So, and these people have organizations already, right? So they want to reset, refresh. So how do I do that? How do I do that? And this is probably the easiest thing to do. The easiest thing. You know why? Because they already have an existing team. If you got 100 people in your team, you have an existing team already. You got 500 people, you get an existing team. So take whatever money you want to make. Say like $1,000 a month, right? Right? $1,000 a month. So you wake up every morning and you got 100 people in your team. You got 100 customers that you can talk to. And what do? You get them to upgrade, right? You get them to upgrade on the highest package possible, which in this company is LA. If they're already on that, you make sure they do the 150 because that's the only way to give residual income. Once people understand that, they'll do it, because we don't get into this business, most people anyway, to go LA so they can buy it, discount, and use it. They go LA because they want lifelong residual income. One phone call, get them on 150 so they be qualified for that. You want to make sure that you call them up and say, hey, have you tried all the products yet? Because the 150 doesn't get you all the products, right? So have you tried this Sterling? Have you tried the spray? Share some of your own testimonial, right? All of a sudden, they're placing a second order. Today, we were sitting with my IT guys. It's amazing how many people their smart buy. This is the monthly smart buy. Orders about $400 or more per month. It's a smart buy. It's not placing an order. It's automatic. So clearly, these people are the ones who decided, whether they're selling a lot, I'm not sure, but we can make a guess because it's the same large order every month. They're using all their products, or at least most of the products, which is amazing. How do you get everybody in your team to do that? And I know every time somebody tries a new product that we have, they say, oh, they were so good. They love it. They just haven't tried it because the upline told them to try one product or something. No, we need to call all the organization. If you've got 1,000 people, you can 10x your money. You can 10x your income just on that alone. So how do you make money? Just get up in the morning, get your MO box around your, set your pathway to 5 figures, because it gives you options during the week, how many days you need to work, 1 or 2 days a week, 3 days a week, right? How many hours? You got to put in 10, 15 hours in there. All of that will tell you what to do in the robo recruiter, right? So, but when you have all of those things, you got your MO box and it's time, you call and you go, hey, here's somebody who's not in LA. Your back office tells you that. You got the phone call, and why aren't you in LA? I mean, you can get the maximum discount by being in LA. You can't even get to the maximize the commissions. You can't get to all the bonuses, the car program, the MGRS. Let me tell you why I went LA, right? Build I can trust with them, right? So you want to pick up the phone and call people and say, hey, have you tried the new product that just came out? Right? So if someone's not on their smart buy, hey, listen, why didn't you get in? Didn't you want to get residual income? Isn't that why you got in? And everybody says, yeah. We know that at the office. We do this all the time. So why isn't there a credit card on your back office for you to use smart buy? Because it's not even possible unless you're consuming the product. You gotta be. So once you have this conversation, you gotta get people constantly, oh yeah, okay, add me. We do this all the time. Add me, yeah, I gotta try that. Oh yeah, I meant to try that. Oh, I haven't tried that. Yes, I should. You're building a lot of like and trust with your team. Then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you generate enough CV. Next thing you know, like if you want to make a $3,000 a month, that means you have to make $100 a day, right? $100 a day. That if you go to your prospects and you got one LA and one LA a week, right? So that's like $1,200 a month, plus your regular income that's coming in and commissions of those things. You can add $1,200 to whatever you're making right now just on that alone. You get people to upgrade. You build it like a trust. By the way, because you're communicating with them, a lot of them become a lot more active, right? So it's not hard. When I was doing this full time, I was 14 years full time, right? That's what built Forensic, because I needed a full time system. 14 years, I woke up in the morning and I just knew I had just to do 4 things. The business plan was not complicated. Wake up in the morning. Back then, it was more difficult because this is pre-internet days. So we actually didn't have, log into your back office. There's no such thing. We actually got once a month, we got this printout that would come in. It was this thick, and we used to make fun of it because it was all those computer printed generating. It come by FedEx, it was this thick. We roll, it goes across 100 feet. So we used to take those. We had these big phones and we used to smile them down. So, but our job was, I identify our job is simple. Wake up in the morning for you guys, especially go to your back office. Who joined in the whole organization? That's in both teams to the infinity. Who joined that day? Welcome them in. Welcome them in. Make sure they've got their own LA package. Make sure they got the 150. Make sure they know all the products. Make sure they know you, right? First task, welcome all the new people who've joined. Second task, thank everybody who placed an order. Whether it was a smart buy order, whether it was just product order, thank everybody. Hey, listen, I saw you just placed an order. I want to thank you for that. So let me tell you my favorite product. Which city are you? Which country are you? What are you building? What's your targets? What's your goals? Here's mine, right? So, you're welcome. You thank the orders. People who are renewed, thank you for renewal. People who are not renewed, hey, listen, I just noticed that you renew them by, you got an organization already because you could see your back office who they have. So is there a reason this was a mishap? Just by doing those basic things. Pick up the phone, start calling some of your prospects in your MO box. It's been sitting there, you've never touched in a long time. Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you about the new parts coming out, the new countries coming out. We got new announcements, right? Go go ahead and build some appointments, send some text messages out. Hey, next week coffee, question mark, right? To your prospects, meet with a coffee and have them see you wearing your stuff, right? And tell them about your plan, expanding this product line business all across the country, around the world. So again, all we do is just talk about relevant information, which is our products and our comp plan, our dreams and goals and targets, and we want to learn about theirs. It's not that difficult like, it takes discipline, because as human beings, I don't like the word discipline because it just sounds like the word discipline sounds so hard. It really isn't that hard. It really isn't. Because all we do as human beings is that we just have to know what's our ideal life, and don't be a wimp about it. Go for it. Just go for it. We don't have to accept where we're at. There's an opportunity here. We have the products, we have the comp plan, we have global reach, and we just have to face little fears every day by like picking up the phone and calling those names. And what do we talk about? We share information about our products, our expansion, our targets and goals. We share about what we want in our life through the compensation plan. It's a beautiful conversation. So if you want to make $3,000 a month, it's not hard. Hit your binaries, hit your structure. Make sure everyone's upgraded. Make sure everyone's renewed. Make sure everyone's placed in the 150. Make sure everyone is on the smart buys. Share with them your own testimonial. Get your leads, call them, make about 3 or 4 appointments this week. And what do you do with the appointments? You got to tell them about your plans. You got to tell them what you're doing. You got to tell them about some of your team who just made 10,000. There's some of your upline who just made $1 million. That's what we do. We talk about joining a mission, joining a company, joining a team. Look at my colleagues, what they're doing. This is what I want to do. I'm going to take it to that country. I'm going to bring it to your country. Who do you know? That's the type of conversation. When you have the products and you're using it, you have the display. We talk about this today. In the old days, of course, the whole thing was about using your home, right? Using your home to do presentations. We had complete display. Every bathroom was full of our stuff if we had bathroom stuff, right? Shampoos and those things. And whatever we had a big display. So outside this stuff, strategic placements, we would have a display of our products in a very handsome showcase, right? So it doesn't matter who comes over for dinner, they have to see it. It's like having a painting on a wall. They would question it. Oh, so what's this about? That's my business. I'm expanding this across the country. I'm expanding this to, Kenya. I'm bringing to Australia. That's what we do. That's what this is. That's what that is. It becomes a conversation. You always make sales. And some people would say, if you're not pushy, you always make sales. And somebody who says, okay, so how does the distribution channel works? So it was to a point, if we didn't have this display in our homes, we got crucified by the upline. Like that means you never actually use the products. It wasn't about, although every company is the same, one product dominates, right? But we had to have the full display. That means at least we used our own. And we did. We make most of our money because our own people are using all the products, right? Because it's consistent and you keep adding to that list. So you need to do that. Get yourself a Safe Home Revolution, put a nice showcase, something in glass, put it behind there or set it nicely. When people come over to your house, they got to see your business. They'll ask us questions. So, wow, these products, they're all your products? Yeah, my company's 200 countries. So I'm taking that all across Canada. And plus I'm building, St. Lucia, plus I'm building, Mozambique. So pretty excited. This is what it does. So you just have those conversations, very professional. You feel great about it. You have some brochures. Is this anything unusual? It's just business. Yet, if you're sitting there thinking, well, I'm not doing those things, that's the most basic thing you can do in running business. It's much easier than hitting traffic. Because I travel the world and I see this traffic everywhere. There's like people are struggling, people are suffering, people are going through. It's not an easy life. It's not going to get any easier either. It's not going to get any easier. It's getting tougher and tougher, inflation and interest rates. And so this business gives us an option to escape all of that to escape all of that. We hear all the problems that and we have this platform that could alleviate all of it. We just don't do it. And that confuses me. It's like, well, how do you go on every day knowing you have, you're in a situation you don't want to be, but and that doesn't motivate you to, okay, maybe I should just drive this vehicle that I have sitting in my driveway and I'm just not driving it, right? So that's one of the things that people say, oh, how to make, make extra $1,000. That's not that hard. You have your prospects, you have to call, that's your MO box, right? Because your MO box. And so you're going to make some appointments, right? You do 3 tours a week, you convert one, 3 tours a week, convert one. That's your prospects, right? That's called pathway to 5 figures. You can do that in 12 months, or that's a progressive rate. Fast track, you could do it in 4 to 5 months. 3 tours, convert one to LA. That's how it works. Aside from that, many of you have these massive organizations, massive, and you haven't, and you don't know them because the beautiful of the binary system is other people brought them in, but they're in your organization. Every dollar they spend, you can make money on it. Every dollar they spend, you make money on it. So why aren't you talking to them every day? Why aren't you making sure that every single one of them are renewed on 150 using every single product? When they do, you make money. You're healthier. Now you have a more active, vibrant organization. Why aren't you? I mean, it doesn't get any simpler than that. I mean, what's easier than calling a prospect? It's not hard, right? It's not hard. But what's even easier than calling a prospect and calling somebody that's already joined the business? They're in your door. And what's even easier than that? They're in your organization. Go to your back office, start dialing, calling everybody, making sure that, show them on video. Hey, listen, look, that's my Safe Home Revolution. That's my display. People ask you how to make money. Let me see your display. What display? That display. Do you have one of those? No, I don't. How do I get it? Safe Home Revolution. Go order it right now. It's not that difficult. You go to store, somebody works there, they try to sell you everything, right? Right. In this business, we don't do that. But you got to use, and we want them to use it. Because you know why? Because if they're not using our products from our mall, they're buying it from outside. They're buying it from someone else's store, someone else's mall. The use cases that we have, we need it. These are essential use cases. You leave, you need shoes. You got a watch, you got a bag, you got a wallet. I mean, shampoo, body wash, these are essentials that we use every single day. You use every single day. Your people use every single day. The question is, are they using it from their mall, opulence mall, or they're buying it from someone else's mall? And then buying it from opulence mall makes you money, gives them a better product, gives them an opportunity. When they buy $200, $300, $150 worth of products here, that gives them a $4 million opportunity. When they buy that $150 worth of shampoo somewhere else, it gives them nothing. That's the thing you got to always recognize too. Somebody says, well, but the products are more expensive here. Yeah, but when you use here, what does it do? It qualifies you for a check. It gives you a business, a $4 million business. It gives you access to the CV generated by hundreds of other people that you don't even know, that you didn't recruit, that just happened to be in the binary, happened to be in the organization, and you can benefit from it by using your own product from your email. Now you're telling me saving $20 for much inferior product is worth that. It doesn't make any sense. But see, we have to have this conversation with our team, right? We have to have this conversation. We have to pick up the phone. We call everybody. You need office hours. You need your MO box. And you need to start calling 2 groups of people. One is your prospects and one is your existing people. But what do you do with your prospects? You make appointments. What do you do with your existing people? Welcome them, thank them, upgrade them, build like and trust. That's all it is. That's all. It's not that complicated. All right, so let's go to the next topic. Well, maybe the way I talk about MLM, I'm getting this a lot. It's kind of silly, but so people say, you know, this, you know what? It sounds too good to be true, right? It's just, you know, because I know MLMs and I know this legit and all of that, but I know, but you know, it can't be as good as they say it is, right? Or because of whatever, right? My response is always the same, because I'm not interested in what his experience is in other MLMs. I have no interest in that. Nor does he have the right to judge my business or his previous experiences. It's silly. You know, if you go, we won't accept that in any part, any other aspect of our life. You go there, well, I don't know if I should buy that Mercedes. I did have a Ford truck that didn't work. I'm not against Ford trucks. I just bought one. But I'm just saying, you know, it just, some objections is just silly, right? It just doesn't make any sense, right? So, you know, when somebody says too good to be true, my response now has become, yeah, well, MLM is great, but opulence is the best version of MLM. See, I don't want to separate myself from the industry, but we do have a lot of advantages that other companies don't have. Opulence is the best version of MLM, but let me tell you why. Right, and I'll just go through, you know, the track record and the 6 different businesses into one, our global reach and our technology, our culture, the Canadian dollars that saves a lot of money. And, you know, we just, I mean, we have a video called The 25 Reasons. Actually, it's called, if you haven't seen this, you should be seeing this. So put it in the chat group. Go on YouTube. They have a video called The 25 Unique Reasons. 25 unique reasons why Optimus Global is the best company, right? 25 unique reasons. So if you have the link, put it in the chat group. It's on YouTube, and watch it, send it out, take notes. That video is a great video for even training your team. People, you know, you got new people. Let me give you training, 25 reasons, unique reasons why Optimus is the best in the world. 25 reasons. So yeah, when somebody says it's too good to be true, yeah, opulence is the perfect version. I mean, truly, opulence is the perfect version of MLM, because MLM has some problems. I understand. You know, one of the MLM problems is that it's so good. There's a lot of scams in it. You know, when something is so good, everybody wants that, including scammers, right? And besides that, you know, a lot of people who are unqualified, they're not well resourced, they don't have a lot of knowledge. They just get in, or the wrong products. The MLM does have problems, right? So I like to say that the opulence is the best, perfect, the most perfect version of MLM. It's a great balance of great products. The use cases that we have in this company is unmatched. And it's our own unique product. It's not someone else's product, right? You know, the global reach. We pay everybody, all these countries, Canadian dollars. You guys don't pay taxes outside Canada, right? I mean, this just goes on. The car programs, the MGRS. We have a marketing allowance. Are you kidding me? We pay you all this $4 million compliment, plus we pay for your marketing. A whole bunch of people who are coming to the conference are using the marketing allowances to come. They pay for everything through that. It's allowed. Imagine being able to buy a convention ticket. You didn't have to pay for it. I paid for it through the marketing allowance that we give you, called the marketing bonus. But it's really allowance, right? So there's just so many. So I shared 25 of them on that video, right? So because of that, I believe we're the perfect version of MLM, the perfect version of MLM. So as I'm writing these things and the objections come, I start writing these mantras. So somebody says, you know, on the seminar I had, oh, well, MLM isn't easy. Okay. Well, look, you know, it might, I don't know, I don't really know what it means, because MLM is pretty simple, right? And whether it's easy or not, it all depends on how much will you want all of it, right? If you say that I want to make extra $500 a month or make a few $100 here and there, that's not hard to do that. Anyone who's active, who have the products and just talking about it, they'll like that. If you don't have the products, you're trying to, that's not going to work with anything, right? But if you're professional, you have the brochures, you have the display, basic stuff, right? You're going to be selling some stuff, pick up some customers. So it's not that hard to make. You know, if you try to make a lot of money, well, if you want to say replace your job, well, what's harder? Your job for the next 40 years and retire on a pension that's not going to cover anything? Or this, for 5 years, facing little fears to be able to, become the next Renee Liao or Sherry Zhao. I mean, we've been paying Sherry for how long now? 16, 17 years? She faced a little fears back then. She's not even been active for many years now, but we have people like that we pay at least. I mean, Sherry made a lot of money, but I mean, forget about the bigger incomes. We got people that make $1,000 a week every week for the last 7, 8 years. That's a pretty good income, $1,000 a week every week, right? And some of them not even active. So what's harder? What's harder? The next 40 years of the job, dealing with mandates and governments and inflation and downsizing, taxes, or facing a little fears now and get away from all of that. Here's another one. MLM isn't perfect or easy. It's just the fastest way to create wealth. It's true. It's not meant to be easy, right? MLM doesn't have to be perfect. So it's not easy, it's not perfect, but I don't know another way that you could create wealth faster than MLM. I don't know another way. I mean, if you have a lot of money, you can buy a big franchise, that's fine, I guess, If you're very good at social media, you're really good at e-commerce, again, 1 billion make it, but it's possible. But again, that's not for everybody. I can't do that. But all of us, I did it in MLM. All of us can do it in MLM because the company handles all that stuff anyways, technical stuff anyways. For us, we just have to take all that information, all that the product is done through scientific research. Someone else has done all that. The companies are. All we do is take those products, take their technology, pick up some basic training, and keep a 15-hour schedule consistently. That's it. 15, if you're part-time, 15 hours. So MLM isn't perfect or easy. It's just the fastest way to create wealth. I don't know another way to do it. I don't know. Do you know another way to do it? For the average person? So I believe this is the fastest way to do it. Here's another thing too. MLM might not be the easiest way to create wealth. I suppose you have money, you could buy something that's already successful. That's easier, I guess. If you have money, then I guess. So MLM might not be the easiest way to create wealth. I can tell you it's the cheapest way and the fastest way. Renee Liao paid a lot more for his business than you did, because if you're a recent LA, you pay $1,300, right? Maybe you were the big spender. You maybe spent $1,800 before that. I don't know. Renee had to pay a lot more. Vezas of the world, they had to pay. It was like 3,600 US for a LA package when they started, which is at that time with the exchange was about 5,000 Canadian, right? 5,000 Canadian. By the way, so feel good about that. You're already in the way ahead, right? Because the people who launched with us early on, they paid 5,000 Canadian for their LA package. You paid 1,300, so you're already 4 times in for profit. So there you go. You didn't even know that. You didn't know that. Now you know you're already in profit because you bought it so much cheaper, right? So when you take a look at what he's able to do, I'm not sure if Renee talks about this. I know back in those days when he was, because he had his peaks where he had over $100,000 incomes like a month. But forget about that. When you take a look at the business that he started with, say $5,000, right? And now he's got months where his revenue, not his income, but his revenue, his CVs or production, is in the 7 figures monthly. Whew. 7 figures. I mean, how many businesses can say, I don't care what size they are, we do 7 figures in business every 30 days? And the few that can say that, they have a big glass building, they got 500 employees, right? They're stressed out and dealing with all kinds of red tape and mandates, and they're running a corporation. That's an incorporation. That's not, that's not Renee working from his home office. Now, here's another one. When Renee got started, I'm using his name because he's, I could use anybody, right? Some of you guys on this call, same thing. But when he got started, when his business was doing, I don't know, 10,000 a month in volume, or when it was doing over $1 million a month in volume, we're talking about, that's like 100x, right? 100x. That's 100 times, right? He didn't have to add one extra employee. What business can say that? When businesses grow, then you have to get a bigger office like we do. I've had five or six, 6 office expansions for Opulence since we started. 6! Actually more than that, because I'm not even counting Manila, I'm not even counting Bangkok, I'm not even counting Singapore. If you add all those, we've had a dozen office expansions since we started. But see, when Renee's business is 100x, it was him and his home office, still him and his home office, right? What other business can say that? So it might not be the easiest way to create wealth. I suppose you can always buy something that's already going with a lot of money, but it's the cheapest and the fastest way. He paid $5,000. You paid $1,300. $1,300. And you know what? Look at their fraud. It's third year, I think. First 2 years, 2.5 years. Part-time. Starts earning incomes of $40,000 a month. That's income, by the way. That's not revenue, right? Because for you, I don't know what type of traditional business do you, I can tell you, we know the stats that are out there. Actually, the stats changed a little bit. Let me find it here, because I'm going to start using the new stats. All right, 20% of the businesses fail within the first year. This is not MLM business, right? That's traditional business. 20% fail within the first year. 45% fail in the first 5 years. I mean, this is devastating. Don't forget, because traditional business costs a lot of money. It could be a franchise or anything. So you spend $200,000-$300,000, you got a mortgage on your home, right? You quit your job, whatever it is. It's devastating. So almost half of them fail in the first 5 years. 65% fail in the first 10 years. Can you imagine putting 10 years into something that traditional business is not easy? It's day and night, right? And you have 2/3 chance of failing over the next 10 years. Look, if I want to fail, I want to know right away. I don't want to know 10 years from now. It's an absolute atrocity. This is devastating. It's pure devastation. And MLM doesn't bring any of that risk. None of that risk. None of that risk. So it might not be the easiest, but it's the cheapest and the fastest way to create some monster money. Monster money. You like that? Yeah, monster money. We should put that in the script next time. All right. Somebody says, I wake up someday I wake up someday and I don't feel like working, or I don't know, I'm demotivated, I'm sad, whatever. It just drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. What's being sad and happy have to do with you working? I don't understand the connection between the two. You wake up in the morning and you have a job. It doesn't matter if you're happy or sad. You go to a job, right? I'm not motivated to work. You don't need motivation to work. Just go to work. I don't think anybody wakes up in the morning to go to a job and says, "Oh, I can't wait to get to work." I mean, I, we have to detach our feeling from our actions. One has nothing to do with the other. I'm not motivated. Who cares? Get the work done. You know, uh, oh, well, you know, COVID this, who cares? Get your work done. Country this, who cares? Get your work done. Weather this, who cares? You know, people are looking. It's just funny to me because last few days it's been hot, and every time I run to people, so hot. They're complaining about it. The same people, if it's raining, so look, it's raining. Same people, the sun is so hot. Oh, like, don't go out. There's too much sun out there. Wait till the evening. Like, they complain about everything. Everything. Just like, so you're not motivated. Who cares? Get to work. Yeah, just like the way you do with your job every single day. Right? So it's not about being happy or sad. That's not something we should be focusing on at all. Just focus on being productive. That's why I love the MO box, because the MO box sits on the table. And doesn't matter if you're happy or sad, you have to open the box and you have to go through the leads in that day. And it makes it so much easier too, because it's sitting there, right? So you open it, as I said, you pick up the phone, you're not thinking twice about it. I have to finish this up, right? You finish it up, you close it, and you're done for the day. You do it every day. In 5 years, you're a millionaire. It's that simple. It's that simple. It's the numbers, right? It's the flow. It's the law of averages. You open the box, you go through the slot every day. You do that every day. You finish it up in 5 years, you're a millionaire. That's just how it works. Not complicated. That's how I make my money. A lot of my students, that's how they make their money. Again, talk about happy and sad. Look, you know what? I know both. I know poor people. I know rich people who are both happy and they're both sad. So, they, I don't, because you hear sometimes people say, yeah, money's and everything, or they're trying to make justification for themselves, right? I don't really imagine somebody says, well, money doesn't buy happiness. Like, I have a difficult time with that statement, because here's the reason why. Everything desirable costs money. It's not free. The nicest cars, nicest homes, nicest clothes, nicest vacations, everything costs money. So how could money not buy happiness? Anything you desire actually costs money, right? So by definition, then money buys happiness. Now, it doesn't mean that if you have everything, you're happy. Human beings are, we go through the peaks and valleys. But here's the thing, though. I know rich people who are sad and happy. I know poor people who are sad and happy. But the rich people, at least when they're sad, they have more tools in the toolbox to make them happy, right? So let's not make all these excuses. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help you. I got called the other day from one of our charities. He said, "Hey, your kids need this, right? Can we do it?" Yeah, sure, let's do it. Right? I don't even think twice about it. Like, yeah, sure, whatever, let's do it. That makes them happy. It makes me happy. So money is good, and when you start, accepting that money is really, really good. It's not the worship. Somebody doesn't even can handle that statement. Wow, worshiping of the money. I don't know personally. I don't know anybody that worships money. Like it's silliness. It's stupidness. It's something that somebody said to them, but it doesn't even make sense, right? We get up from the moment you wake up in the morning. till nighttime. In this call right now, you're watching this call because you paid for your internet. So let's not contaminate the conversation with this stuff that in my lifetime, I don't know anybody who worships money. I don't know anybody. I know cheap people, but because they're cheap, it doesn't make them. So I don't allow this junk to stop me from evolving as a person. I want to become more. I want to earn more. I want to give more. I want to do more. I want to achieve more. And part of those achievements is you. Make 1,000 millionaires. Yeah. That means I need to become more. Be able to do it. All right. I thought we'd do something different today in my car lounge. Messy one. I'm not showing you the mess because we have some boxes. Oh, I'll show you something really cool though. To close this call. You know, mom, I leave it to mom, and mom has the best pictures of when you're young. And I was going through some of these pictures. I'm thinking, my goodness, that was me. Yeah. So this is when I first started Opulence. I was 36 years old, and those are my cousins, actually. Those are my cousins. Yeah. So, I don't know how mom gets a hold of this stuff because I'm looking at the stuff I've not seen in such a long time. And look at this guy. Look at this guy. You don't recognize that guy? Look at that guy. Anyways, I just like to love my life, go through the stuff. It's tough to uh, fit it all in, but I make the best use of my 24 hours. I don't waste time on TV. I don't waste time on music. Well, if I do music, because I'm doing something else and music in the background. I don't waste time to the news. I don't waste time on things I have no control over. I don't waste a lot of time on sleeping. Sleeping is okay, but 6 is enough. And yeah, I try to use about 18 hours a day of productive, good things to keep me going and keeping this company going. With that, stay forensic. Love you guys. And back to a fearless hostess. Let's go. Let's go.
Hey. Wow, wow, what a presentation. Forensic, absolutely forensic. Those are the words echoing with my heart. Opulence is the most perfect version of the multi-level marketing. Opulence is the best version MLM. Share all your friends and family and partners 25 ways that Opulence is better than any other multi-level marketing.
Actually, you know what? Let me show you guys something. Sorry.
That's okay. Welcome.
In this box, I found some cool stuff. Only mom keeps the stuff. Did you guys know? Let me go and chat. Did you guys know that Fairy? You go chat. Did you guys know that Fairy had a photo shoot with Versace and Hugo Boss? Did you know that? Let me see in the chat. How many people knew that Fairy was called? We were called when Versace and Hugo Boss were doing a photo shoot in Canada. We were called to join the photo shoot because they needed the best jewelry in the world. Wow. You didn't know that, did you?
Wow, no. Oh, that one, I saw it. I got a gift a couple of times.
Well, you still have read it, right? So, let me tell you. Of course, this is not the actual magazine, this is a reprint of it because we only wanted our section. It's 12 pages. Of course, we're in the cover, right? The back was a fairy president. In this particular preferred on the Hugo Boss one, let me see. Here we go. Sorry. This is it. That's it. So that's it. So, of course, what they're wearing a Hugo Boss suit, Hugo Boss black shirt, Hugo Boss leather belt, fairy watch, and she's wearing Versace some dress. Shoes is for something else on fairy jewelry. Like that's just one of the pages. So we start to reprint these. We used to reprint these, and of course they're all ferried up head to toe. And you guys used to use these as part of your marketing. This one, in this case, they're using fairy necklaces, bracelets, and of course, the one that says special thanks to Fairy Designer Lines. So that's your company. That's your
our
company.
company. Absolutely. That's our company.
The Successful magazine,
Wow.
Successful Home Business magazine. Again, this was a top MLM companies. Twice we became #1 on that, and they wrote all about us. And a lot of you guys don't know about the Fairy Marsh. The Fairy Marsh is the fanciest. It is the most luxurious above all gold jewelry in the world.
Wow.
And Fairy Marsh got us so much media. The reason we have so much media is because of Fairy Marsh and Fairy President. In any event, this box is full of stuff like this. I'm thinking, only mom. She takes them and she puts them away. She puts them away. So I'm going to put a nice little spot for this. Although we have a Hall of Fame section at the World Headquarters, I have my own little section going here. All right, back to you.
Welcome. So that's good. So the other word is become more, earn more, give more, and create a more millionaires. Wow, I love it. It was gonna be like that. So I'm gonna share and what's the upcoming event is. So let me put oh Lord, it's hiding from me.
While you're doing that, everybody, we have a major conference coming up in Toronto. Our leadership, Reza and Renee, and they're just setting this up. Make sure, book for it. There's not going to be a lot of room, right? So make sure, get 10 tickets. Here's how I used to do it when I was on the field. As soon as something came up, about 10 tickets right away, right? Then I kept it for my hot shots that I needed to get there at this time that I had already. And I always kept a few for the hot shots that's going to join me between now and then, because when the tickets run out, I don't want my people to be left out. So make sure, call Renee, call the company, get 10 tickets, and start talking about it.
Excellent. So is the conference, or that's the other one?
The conference that's coming up in I think what did you
September.
Can you unmute Renee? Unmute Renee so Renee can quickly comment.
Yes, hello, yes. Ramin. Yeah, the conference is September 23rd and 24th. I know that a lot of the folks here on tonight's call got their early bird tickets. And I just wanted to say again, folks, do not miss this event. The early bird tickets are still available. They will be going up from $249 up to $299, and after that up to $349. So don't wait. Right now, get onto the website, click on the big banner, and buy your tickets tonight. It's going to be a Friday, Saturday event. And again, just a quick reminder that for all the new partners, you do have $100 of Opulence currency sitting in your account, right? You can use that, of course, towards your conference tickets. So, and of course, buy more than one ticket, because again, a lot of times people get started as an LA after the early bird's already over. So you want to buy a few extra tickets to get to sell back to your new team members, of course, if they get started after the early bird is already done. And of course, some other strategies here, folks, that if you have someone that's sitting on the fence, is about to get started and not really sure, I would encourage them that, if they get started as an LA, you're going to buy them their conference ticket for them, because again, you're making $300 of a wholesale profit. Your new the conference ticket is $249, and the moment your new partner goes to conference and leaves the conference, they're going to be giving you so much business. It's going to pay you back 100-fold of your investment. That didn't even cost you a dime because you're using the money you made in wholesale profit to pay back for that conference ticket. So again, sorry for the long spiel with me. Just wanted to get out some tips and advice for the team before we finish call tonight. Thank you.
No, absolutely. There was an old stat, I'm sure it's the same right now. People attend conferences. Their chances of going through another year of being active with that business goes up by 95%. So imagine that 95%, you give somebody conference tickets, and at another year, the revenue that would generate for you, forget about them going out and blowing this thing up. Just using the product pays for them far more, right? So it's important, buy 10 tickets, give it away. By the way, again, a lot of you guys, because we have a long list of people who have marketing bonuses, allowances, you can use that, right? You can use that not just for yourself, you can use that for your team as well. Give you the as incentives.
Wow, amazing. Amazing. What's going on?
Yep.
It's gonna, so can you hear me, guys?
Yes, we can.
Yes, thank you, and Renee. What tips and actually a lot of good things coming. Thank you, Ramin. And I'm gonna announce the rest of the tourists that coming. Asia and Daniela Ferrari will go in there. Thailand, Singapore. So the August 20th. Oh wow, August 20th and 21 is Thailand. August 26th, 27th, Singapore, Malaysia, 30th, and Philippines, September 1st and September 2nd. So I want to give the handbag for the Daniela and the rest of the team. Wow, here is also Ifra Hassan, mashallah. She's going Edmonton tour is going to be 16 August. It's so close. It's coming and 17 August. And let's go with more. Wow, our Vice President is Sanas and Ifra Hassan and the rest of the team also. It's going to be on Minneapolis, Minnesota, August 26, August 27. So invite the guests and a leadership cocktail and Sister Farnisha and her family and her friends is going to be rocking this next Sunday coming. And Sanas and Dr. David is going to be on Monday. And me and Ramin will come back next Tuesday. Excellent. So, yeah. So if there's no other closing thoughts or anything like this, we're going to end the calls very soon. Yeah.
Very good. Congratulations. Keep trying, keep crushing it, keep working this, keep, and you become fluent at it. So you're doing well. You're doing fine.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you very much for all this encouragement. Okay. Good night.
Stay forensic.
We all will be.
Good night. 1T1G to the billion.
To the billion. Thank you.